Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I use charcoal to draw dark hair. And naturally, drawing dark hair with charcoal is supposed to be easy because charcoal is really dark, but charcoal as a medium has its quirks that you have to know how to use to your advantage. For example, the fact that it can be spread around and blended very easily. You can also draw lighter hair with charcoal, but it's a lot easier to draw dark hair. For lighter hair, I will often switch to some other type of pencil. Anyway, I have two recent drawings here because I want to show you the two types of hair that look really good in charcoal but are very easy to draw. And that's this slick dark hair in the Elvis drawing and the frizzy curly hair that Ronaldinho here has. We'll start with the Elvis video. Okay, so let's see how I did the Elvis here. There is already a sketch here, and now I'm using a woodless charcoal pencil to draw some of these hairs. First, I'm going to be focusing on the outer shape of his hair, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to be filling it in with the charcoal pencil, and that should be relatively quick because the charcoal pencil is pretty soft and dark and it spreads around very quickly. So you can see I'm not just drawing the outer shape in a single line. I am trying to suggest that there are different hairs growing in different directions here, or that they are slicked back in various directions. That's what I'm doing here. You can see that they are going in all kinds of directions. Now I'm drawing the part of the hair closer to the face. There will be some flyaway hair on his forehead, but I'm not really concerned about that right now. I'm going to be adding that in later. I need to take care of this first. The side bands. This area is going to be pretty dark, so I'm using a little bit more pressure there. Now I grabbed a softer charcoal pencil because I'm going to be filling this in. I used the medium one for the outer shape because I wanted more precision, and the medium charcoal pencil is a little bit harder and holds the tip a little bit better and allows for more precision. But they are both generally pretty soft and easy to blend. Now you'll see how quickly I'll be able to fill all of this in. Oops, the tip broke off, but never mind, I don't really need a sharp tip here. I just gotta keep doing this, but another thing that you see is that even though this will be very dark and I'm not sure how much detail you will be able to see once I'm done, I am still trying to draw keeping in mind the direction of the hair. It's slicked back, and I'm trying to keep that direction with my strokes. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to fill in all of this area. I'm just going to lay down some of the darker areas, and then I'm going to leave some of these lighter areas where the highlights will be. And then once I use a brush, I'm going to create midtones. I'm going to be pushing the charcoal tool towards those lighter areas, and and that will complete the appearance of the realistic appearance of the hair. So I'm deliberately doing two things. I'm deliberately making these strokes in the direction of the hair, because some of them are going to be left, some of them are still going to be visible even once I'm done blending. And I'm also deliberately leaving some of these blank spaces, which won't necessarily be entirely white, but they will be a lot lighter. I'm just going to be pushing the charcoal gently towards them. And then if I want to later, I can draw highlights. I can go back with a pencil eraser or a bead eraser, and I can refine some of these highlights. But now I'm using a brush, and I'm just gently pushing that charcoal around. I'm using a bristle brush, which is kind of old and used up, but I like it because it's shorter and it allows me for more precision here. And you also have to keep in mind in which direction you're making these strokes with the brush, because if you go sideways it won't blend very well and you might even damage the paper. So you kind of have to try to make brush strokes in the direction of the hair. So even though all of this looks very quick and kind of spontaneous, there is some thought and planning behind it. But you can see how quickly I achieved a realistic appearance of the hair. This already looks like a nice, voluminous, dark hair that is slicked back and has some highlights on top. And I don't really have to fidget with it much more. I can go back in with a pencil eraser and refine it a little bit, but I'm going to leave it for now because it looks pretty good already. Now let's see how we can draw this type of hair. So once I have a sketch and I know what the head is supposed to look like, I start drawing the hair, and I like to draw around the ear and lay down some of the darker areas. This helps me a lot with the form, with the shape. And soon you'll see what I'm doing when I'm drawing this frizzy hair. I'm basically using the qualities of the pencil itself, because when you use a scribbling motion, just round circling motion, you will naturally get some texture. The pencil will produce some texture on its own, and all you have to do is use that to your advantage. But as you can see already, I'm planning ahead, and I'm laying down some of the darker areas, because you can't just randomly scribble around. You have to keep in mind what the shape of the head is, and you have to try to show depth, and you have to try to show where the light is coming from. So I'm making this area a lot darker, and the area next to it will be lighter. But like I said, this type of hair, as complex as it looks once it's finally done, is actually not that difficult to draw. And you can actually do the same thing with a graphite pencil, but it has to be a really dark and really soft graphite pencil. An 8B would be useful for this. Now I'm just drawing some of these waves. As you can see, there will be lighter and darker areas here. But you just have to stay patient with it and keep doing that circling, scribbling motion. And you just allow the pencil to do your work for you by creating a nice frizzy texture. Depending on the size of your drawing, this can take a little while, but the good thing about charcoal is that it's covering a lot of area pretty quickly. This is what I like to do. I like to draw these darker areas. This area around the neck is really dark, and I like to create an edge there. This gives me a better idea about the structure and the shape, and you're already beginning to see the shape. Now, I'm making this area darker because we have to keep in mind where the light source is, and it's coming from here. So this area here will be a lot lighter. So now we can also use a brush to blend that a little bit, and the brush will soften the texture a little bit and smudge it around. What that will do is it will make it look softer, more realistic, give it more volume, and also create an illusion that there are some of these smaller flyaway hairs that we can't really discern. But don't go overboard with it, because you can then completely remove your texture. If you want to create more texture, you can go back in with your charcoal pencil. You can also use erasers to draw highlights. I'm here using a pencil eraser, but you can also use a kneaded eraser. You just shape it into a nice tip and just remove or lift up some of the charcoal where you want it to be lighter. Another useful tool, of course, is a tortillon. Here I'm using it to clean up this edge because I want to have a clean edge between the neck and the hair. And you can also use it to modify the shape of the hair here and there. You can also use a black colored pencil to add a few of these flyaway hairs because it's so sharp and precise. So that's about it. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, or perhaps found it useful if you like drawing. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.